Hi guys, so today's video is going to be on books I've read. So these are the 6 books that I've read since the last books I've read video. I don't remember when I filmed it, maybe a month or 2 months ago. I'm just gonna go in random order and start with Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. I think majority of people know what the story is about. It's a tragic love story following death. So I don't feel like I need to introduce it, but I just wanted to read it in English, wanted to read it fully because it's high school. We would read only like excerpts from it. And just like with all of the Shakespeare's works, it involves a lot of humor, a lot of absurdity. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoy Shakespeare in general because I had a course at uni and I've grown to love Shakespeare. It's definitely not for everyone. If you don't know how to read it, you're gonna be like, what the hell is that? Because it's not modern English, it's Shakespearean English, which is very confusing, very complicated. There are lots of words that don't make sense, so you have to know what he means. Of course, you can read modern versions, modern translations, and if not, you can always go on to No Sweat Shakespeare to help you with that, with understanding and interpretations. But yeah, it's a beautiful, funny, silly, absurd love story and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Another book is by Hannah Kent and it's called Boreal Rites. It's set in northern Iceland in 1829 and I love that. I love books set in 18th or 19th centuries. This is about a woman called Agnes Magnus Dottir who is waiting for her execution date for murdering her lover. Yes, the murder happened, but did she really kill the person? So that is the question in this book that's being analyzed. So it's basically a story about Agnes and her life before the murder happened and after the murder happened. So after it happens, and everyone, all the villagers are afraid of her, everyone thinks she's this horrible, scary, dangerous person. But one family is forced to take her in, so she starts living with them and starts doing like their house chores. Like she becomes kind of like a maid helping with housework. It's so interesting to see the family's relationship with her, how everyone is pretty cold and scared of her, but then they kind of develop feelings towards her, especially the mother and then one of the 2 sisters. It's like the story about the inner world of Agnes, her feelings. It's pretty dark and depressing, I have to say. It has this melancholic feel. So it's not a book I would ever want to read again. It's a woman waiting for her execution date. She knows that she's going to die, so of course it's going to be very dark and melancholic. But it's also the setting, the fact that it's set in Iceland, the surroundings, the darkness. I actually watched a movie at uni in one of the courses. I think it was set in Iceland. I can't remember for sure, but if I remember the name, I will leave it here. But it was the most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. I see the exact same setting in this book, like the surroundings, the way that people live. It's just, to me, it drags me down. It makes me depressed reading this book. People say it's haunting, a dark thriller. I don't know if I could recommend this because if you are into that kind of stuff, you would like it. Murder story, pretty dark, thrilling. Then yeah, read it. But if you want something more positive, I don't recommend this book. And then I read 3 of the Harry Potter books, The Philosopher's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, and The Prisoner of Azkaban. And these are the signature edition books. They're so beautiful. It's one of my favorite editions ever. I got these on Amazon, so you have to fish for good deals on Amazon. I'm so happy to finally have a full collection of Harry Potter books in English. And I only read them in Lithuanian, and it's obviously a story I grew up with. I think most of people from my generation grew up with Harry Potter. I watch Harry Potter movies every Christmas. It's just inevitable. And reading these books, they take you out from reality and put you into that magical world of Harry Potter. So I always secretly wish I was a Hogwarts student. I mean, who doesn't, right? Those who love Harry Potter. No matter how old you are, either 11 or 25, it doesn't matter. you must read Harry Potter. Like, I think it's not a story that's only for children. I think it's also for adults. It's just such wonderful escapism. It takes you out from the reality. They're very easy to read, they're very quick to read, and you don't need to think much. You're just there in this magical world. And I love them. What can I say? Of course, I'm gonna recommend them because I love Harry Potter. And also, let me guys know what house you belong to if you've done the Pottermore quiz. I'm a Hufflepuff, and at first I was very annoyed because I wanted to be a Gryffindor student, of course. Hermione, duh. But I am a Hufflepuff, and I've grown to love it. I'm a real Hufflepuff. I'm nowhere near being a Gryffindor. I don't know, I'm not a brave person like Gryffindors are. Maybe a little bit. Maybe I have a bit of Gryffindor and most of Hufflepuff in me. Let me know what house you guys belong to. Okay, and the last book I read is Persuasion by Jane Austen, also Barnes & Noble leather-bound edition. Such a gorgeous edition. I mean, it's just stunning and looks so beautiful on my bookshelf now. And it's a pretty quick read, 200 something pages. And also, like with Shakespeare, you have to like Jane Austen to like her novels, because they are not set in modern day. They're very, you know, completely different time period, and writing, the language, the manners, everything. I really enjoyed it. It's one of those books that's, you know, nice and cozy to read on a Sunday with a cup of tea and a fluffy blanket, because it's an easy read. It's like nice, lovely, comforting, easy read, but it's not a spectacular story or anything. It's a love story. It's about young people. A girl called Anne, she refuses a suitor because he was quite poor, and then he goes into war and then comes back quite rich, and then her interest in him is rekindled. She is suddenly into him, but he's not into her anymore. He's into her friend. You know, it's about that high society youth and just love and taking chances and missing opportunities. It's set in Bath, England, and I would love to go to Bath so much. I think I would really like there. Maybe younger people would not enjoy this because it's pretty hard to get into. I did enjoy it myself, and I would probably read it again. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about these kinds of videos. I feel like it's a bit like empties with beauty products. I finish products and then I share my thoughts on them. So it's like the same with books. I finish reading a book and then I let you guys know whether I would recommend it or not and what I thought about it. I personally love watching these kinds of videos from bookish YouTubers. They give me so much inspiration and I know what to expect from books. So also do let me know if you like these or not. And I will talk to you soon. Have a lovely day. Bye!